just under £20, and since opening the London Eye, it has carried over 50 million people. So it has now been voted as London's top tourist attraction. It is said to be one of Europe's finest concert halls, as I mentioned, completely soundproof to keep out the noise of the children. And then over to the left, the oldest landmark you'll see on our journey today. On the river wall, there's a stone column, or stone obelisk, Cleopatra's Needle. Now, Cleopatra's Needle was made in Egypt 3,500 years ago. It was given to this country about 200 years ago. We'll see on our journey today. Then in front of us, something that might interest the ladies. We're about to go under Waterloo Road Bridge. It is also known on the river as the Loo, and that's when the men were away fighting. It is the longest bridge in London. It spans the river at a quarter of a mile. So well done to the girls. Waterloo Bridge, the ladies' bridge. Now, as we come through the bridge, folks, over to the right, there's another modern building. This one's concrete with a flashing sign on the front, and that is our National Theatre. Inside that building, there are 3 of the best theatres in the country. Unfortunately, for many years in a row, by some of London's top leading architects, that was voted the ugliest building in London. In my personal opinion, I disagree in gravy, and it was once made in that building. Years ago, on the banks of the river, it was illegal to advertise. The company got away with the advertisement by incorporating the name of their product as windows. It became a famous landmark for them years. And another famous landmark ahead of us to the left, the lovely dome and cross of St Paul's Cathedral. Now, St Paul stands there 365 feet high. That building took 35 years to construct, and that's where the likes of Winston Churchill went to gain his early education. If we look along the front of that building, there are 4 statues. They are 4 of the country's greatest scholars, and they were put very shortly. When we go through the bridge, left and right of the boat, you're going to see red columns. The red columns are the remains of the first railway bridge in London. The top part of the bridge, it became unsafe. It was lifted off about 30 years ago. The red columns could not be removed. If these columns were pulled up, there was a good chance the other bridges may have fallen down. So the columns were left in for safety. This here is the Blackfriars Railway Bridge. Marks the halfway point. Everybody still happy? Feeling okay? The Tate Modern Art Gallery. It is the largest modern art gallery in the world, and also completely free to enter. If you like modern art, that would be the place to go. But then again to the left, another lovely view of St Paul's. If you look up, you can go to the top, and the views are just as good as the London Eye. And look carefully, you can see the Millennium Footbridge, that you might know better as the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. When it was first opened, this bridge, it was swinging from side to side. The bridge was opened on a Saturday morning in the Millennium year by the Queen. Closed the same afternoon by the police. Some of the children may recognise that bridge as well. It was used in one of the Harry Potter movies. Do you all like Harry Potter? I don't, I think he's horrible. But folks, we've come through the globe. They reenact Shakespeare plays. All the plays are set traditionally, as they would have been during... Parts of it dates back 400 years. It was built in 16 1915. And it's even said that the likes of Shakespeare and his actors would have used that pub. Very popular as well, as you can see, the anchor to the right. If you look through the gap, you'll see a lovely old pirate ship. And this pirate ship is a working replica to Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind. Drake was the first Englishman to sail a ship around the world, and he did so on a boat identical to that. The replica is there now as a museum, so you can go on board, look around. It's a lovely place for the kids, the Golden Hind. But now in front of us, we're about to go under the most historical river crossing to span the Thames. This, ladies and gents, the world famous London Bridge, the Romans 2,000 years ago. Now what we'll do very shortly, see, lots of people tend to make the common mistake of confusing London Bridge with Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is the one in front of us. What we'll do in a few minutes, we're going to take it down to Tower Bridge, and then the HMS Belfast, the flag on the front, I'm sure we all know what it is, the Union Jack. That is the only Union Jack you will see in the City of London. If you see that flag on a building, it is simply called the Union flag. The pole holding the flag on the ship is a jack staff, and that's when it becomes the Union Jack, when it flies from the front of one of Her Majesty's naval ships. Anyway, the HMS Belfast, she served during World War II on the beaches of Normandy during the D-Day landings, last fired those guns in anger during the Korean War. Now folks, if you do want to stand up and take your pictures, please do so. That's what you're here for. The only thing we'll ask is when you've finished taking your pictures, find your seats after, just to give everybody a chance. And you will notice if you stand up and we